How to be found by the one God has for you. And we're going through the series called 9 Ways to be Found by Your Christian Spouse. Now, we have already gone through the 9 ways, and we have some extra bonus points for you. Now, for point 11, bonus point 11, we have two extra ones or 3 extra ones for you. We want to suggest that you know what you want. God says He's going to give us the desires of our hearts. And in order for Him to give us the desires of our heart, we must have desires. We must have something that we want, that we are looking forward to, that we would prefer. And there are some people who say, oh, don't bother with checklists, those are not good. Just simply take what the Lord has for you. And it is true that the Lord has things in mind for you. However, He has also put things in your heart, choices that you can make, things that you would prefer. And He would like to talk to you about that. Why not go to Him? There was a time when Jesus met some blind people, and, they wanted to engage His attention. And Jesus said, well, bring them over here. And one of the first things He asks the blind men is, what do you want me to do for you? You would have thought that Jesus, knew exactly what they wanted, but Jesus wanted them to articulate their desires. Similarly, God has put desires in your heart. And I want you to turn to Genesis chapter 24, and we are going to be looking at verses 12 to 15. 12 to 15. It was a servant who was commissioned by Abraham to find a wife for Isaac. So these are the days they had arranged marriages. Genesis chapter 24, verse 12. I'm reading from the Life Application Bible. It says, oh Lord, the guy is praying now. The guy has situated himself in a strategic spot to to look for a wife. And he's praying now to God. And he says, oh Lord, God of my father, he prayed, give me success and show kindness to my master Abraham. Help me to accomplish the purpose of my journey. See, here I am, standing beside the spring. The young women of the village are coming out to draw water. This is my request. Listen to his request. He's requesting something specific. He had a choice. He wanted to see some certain qualities. He had a criterion that he is going to be using to decipher whether or not this person is the right person for Isaac. And this is what he says. I will ask one of them for a drink. If she says, yes, certainly, I will water your camels too. Let her be the one you have appointed to be Isaac's wife. By this, I will know that you have shown kindness to my master. By this, I will know you have shown kindness to my master. In other words, he was asking that the person that would become Isaac's wife must be kind. She must have initiative. She must show that she is helpful. Similarly, I am suggesting to you that you need to be clear in your mind the qualities that you're looking for in a prospective spouse. And that is very, very vital. And you can go to God and say, well, Lord, these are my desires. These are the things that I would much prefer. I have categorized these things in 3 categories, the haves. Things that you must have, things that you must not have, and things that you could have, but you could live without. Let me explain. A must-have are qualities that the other person need to have in order for you to have a happy, functional relationship. So, for some people, their spouse should be a spiritual person. And it goes without saying, if you're a Christian, they must be a Christian. Well, they should be a Christian. Some people choose, according to biblical principles, you should marry in the Christian family. Then there are those things that they should never have. Some people call them deal breakers. They are things that no matter how beautiful, no matter how handsome, no matter how wealthy, no matter what other qualities this person has, if he or she has one of these, though that would be a deal breaker, you will not get involved with that person. For example, when I was looking for a prospective spouse, one of the things I would not, I purpose in my heart, I would never ever tolerate is a woman who smokes. If she smokes, bingo. Doesn't matter how cute she is, doesn't matter how beautiful, how talented, how many other qualities she has. No, that was a deal breaker for me. For Christians, a deal breaker is, according to 1 Corinthians 6:14, you must not get involved with someone who's not a Christian. Okay? So that would be a deal breaker, should be a deal breaker. There are other deal breakers. If a person if a person is abusive, get involved in violence, whatever it is, be certain you are aware of the qualities that you will not tolerate in a relationship. And that doesn't have to be 10 pages long. 3 to 4 things that you would not tolerate. And then there are things that they could have. If they have, it's a bonus. If they don't have it, well, you could live without it. So sit down and write the qualities that they should have, they must have, they must not have, and probably the ones that you can compromise on. And let me explain the physical benefit of this. If you're clear about these qualities, your brain would be able subconsciously to weed out or become acutely aware of people who have the qualities that you're looking for. It would zero in on those people somehow or the other. The brain intuitively pick up on these when you are aware of what you're looking for. Again, I'll give you an example. If you are looking for a particular car and you think, yeah, I've gotten this new car or new dress, all of a sudden your interest, your awareness is piqued on this dress or car, and everywhere you go, you begin to see people with these. You begin to see the car or people in this particular dress. Whereas before, you weren't really looking for it, so you didn't actually see. You didn't take note of it on people. So please be clear about what you must have, what you must not have, and things that you can compromise on. And go to God, speak to God, tell him the desires of your heart, explain to him, and he says, come, let us reason together. God is a loving father, and like earthly fathers, when you go to them and you tell them what you want, they will sit down and discuss the pros and the cons, and they will support you if it is something that is beneficial to you. And if God sees that this is not beneficial to you, he will tell you, he will explain to you, he would shut and open doors accordingly. So don't be afraid to be clear, like the servant of the things that you should have. Sometimes some people go as far as to have a scrapbook where they would write notes of the qualities that they're looking for in a prospective spouse, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can write a list, you can change the list from time to time, but be sure that in prayer and in discussion with the Lord, you talk about them, and God will lead you and guide you accordingly.